Hello, students. How are you? In today's lesson, today's lesson is part number 17. We are going to see the increment in the incremental value take place in the goodwill during the admission of the partner, and we are writing off the goodwill immediately, right? That is the new adjustment we are going to see. Through some we will work it out, then you can understand easily, right? The Ram and Siva are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 2:1, right? They are sharing the profits and loss in 2:1, right? And their balance sheet asset 30,000 given below. Buildings 40,000, goodwill 6,000, machinery 50,000, right? Cash 10,000, debtors 30,000, provision for bad debtors 1,000, bill receivable 15,000, and equity Ram 40 and Siva 30, creditors 50 and bills payable 30. Everything is taken down here, right? On 1st April 2020, they decided to admit Zada. Okay, they decided to admit Zada should bring the profits of the partnership is 1/4 of share in the profits in the following term. That means 2:1:1. Their new rate is 2:1:1, right? Zada should bring 30,000 towards capital. Then Zada cash account, cash number one is cash account debit 40,000, capital of Zada is 40,000 credited. So you know the narration, you just write it down the narration, right? So what is the entry here? Cash account brought down value, how much cash? 10,000, no? 10,000. 10,000. What is Zada? How much he brought? 40,000 capital account. Capital Zada, right? Cash 40,000 Zada's account, right? That is the adjustment. And second one, goodwill of the firm is valued 18,000, right? Goodwill of the value, you say goodwill carried down value is 18,000, right? You say 18,000. So what is the difference? 6 and 18, 12,000 should be provided for the capital account. 12,000 is the difference, right? 12,000 is the difference. You see, 12,000 is this. If it is, sorry, if it is 18,000 carried on, 12,000 is the difference, no? Right? This is the difference, right? Difference. So what we are going to do is, we are going to charge it on the all partners ratio, 2:1, 2:1, no? Now also 2:1, no? There is no sacrificing ratio, right? Then we will say capital account. Capital account. What is that? Goodwill. How much? 12,000. 12,000 for 8,000 into 4,000. 8,000. 8,000 into 4,000. Right? 12,000. Right? So capital account debit. Sorry, goodwill account debit, capital account credit. So what is the journal entry? Goodwill account debit and uh, capital of Raghu and Shiva. Raghu, no? Ram and Shiva. Ram, Shiva, Zada. Right? Ram and what is it? Ram and Shiva. Ram and Shiva. Goodwill how much? 12,000. Debited to goodwill account. And Ram 8,000 and 4,000 is Shiva. Is credited. Right? So write down the narrations as you want. And third one, here goodwill account, we are balancing the carried down value, right? 18,000, 18,000. The difference is the 12,000, right? The difference is the 12,000, right? 12,000 is we took the difference and charge it to the goodwill and the capital account, right? Capital account we are sharing in the old profit sharing ratio. Then they says decided to write off immediately. They decided to write off immediately the goodwill. So goodwill brought forward amount brought forward is 18,000. No? 18,000 they want to written down write off immediately. So new profit sharing rate 2:1:1. 2:1:1. Then goodwill account credit, capital account debit. Goodwill written off immediately, right? Here you will say capital of whose one? R, S and Zada, right? How much? 18,000. 2:1:1. 4. 4,500. 9,000. 4,500 and 4,500. Then okay na. 18,000 na. 18,000. It is closed down. The account is nil. Then goodwill 9,000, 4,500, 4,500. Right? Okay. So goodwill adjustments is over. Right? 18,000. Immediately they write off the goodwill. They have written off the goodwill immediately. Then all three partners according to the new profit sharing ratio. Right? So we have done it. We have to write down the capital account debit of R, S and Z, and we had to goodwill account credit. Right? How much? 9,000, 4,500 and 4,500 equal to 18,000. 18,000. 18,000. Then capital, and we have done the double entries here, ledgers, right? and create provision for bad debts 8% on debtors. Debtors how much? 30,000. In the 30,000, 8% is 2,400. Right? 8,000 is 2,400. Then carried down value is the 2,400. Right? 2,400 and 2,400. Right? But already we have done brought forward value is 1,000. The difference is 1,500. For 1,400 only we have to pass a adjustment, right? Then we have to say revaluation account. Revaluation account. Revaluation account. Provision for bad debts. Debts. 1,400. 1,400. Right? Finished. And other one will goes to here creditor. What is the journal entry? Revaluation account debit 1,400 and provision for bad debts. Credit 1,004. Right? You know the narration, right? Narration you have to write it off. Right? You have done here percent. Okay. And building value to be appreciated by 10%. 10% in the sense 4,000. 40,000 is the building value. Then fifth one is building account. Con debit 4,000. Revaluation account credit 4,000. Right? So this is finished. Right? Revaluation account credit building. $4,000. Right? Building account revaluation. Right? Then 48,000. Carrying down value is 48,000. Brought forward is 48,000. Right? Okay. The double end has gone now. Okay. Then depreciate the machinery by 5,000. Depreciate the machinery value is decreased. Then 5,000 decreased by 5,000. Revaluation. Revaluation account debit machinery. How much? 5,000. 5,000. Right? Carried down value is 45,000. Brought forward is 45,000. Right? 45,000. Number 6. Machinery revaluation account debit. Account debit 5,000. Machinery about 5,000. Right? So you know the narration. Write down the narration. Machinery we have done. Pass the entries in the T accounts. Journal entry also has finished. And new profit sharing ratio on 2:1. Right? Now everything is over and we have to just balance the account. First of all, we have to balance the revaluation account. Revaluation account 6,400. 6,400. Right? 6,400 in 2,400. Right? mm, loss transfer, right? Loss transferred to capital account, right? How much? 2400. 2400 in the sense 3 is to 1. 4600, 1600 and 800. Right? R and S. Right? 1600 and 800. Right? This is revaluation account. 8. Eighth account. Capital account debit. Debit 2400. Revaluation account credit 2004. Right? 2400. Because revaluation loss had been transferred to the capital account, partner's capital account, 2000 unicorn account, right? Then cash account 50,000, right? Here we have to balance it. Capital account, we have to balance the capital account. 40,000 balance brought forward. Balance carried down, right? Here we will say 40,000. Here 40,000. Carried down is 35,500. 35,500, right? And this one is 34,000. 34,000. General reserve, does we have the general reserve? Let to see whether general reserve. No. Right? 34,000. Then here we have 34,000. So 5,300. 5,300. 5,300. 6,000. 28,700. 28,700. This is 48,000. This is 48,400. Right? Also 10 lower. 37,000. 37,400. 10. 37,000. Right? 37,400. 37,400. 28,700. 35,000. 35,500. 28,700. 37,400. 9, 6, 1, 16, 21, 2, 5, 181,600. Right. This is buildings 48,000. Furniture or machinery Machinery 45,000. Provision for depreciation 2,400. Then 27,600. Right? 27,600. This is carried down 50,000. 50,000. 600. 2 and 1. 892,000. Is there any furniture? No. Right? Then 0,003 93,000. 93,000. 90. Buildings 44,000. Sorry. 44. 44. 44. 44. 44,000. 44,000. Right? 44 in the sense 989,000. 600. 1. 981,000. 181,600. 881,600. Okay. Balance sheet is balancing 181,000. 108. Here you have to see only the goodwill adjustment only, right? Other things are normal. Goodwill only. Here when there is an increase take place in the goodwill, right? When you are admitting the new partner, the increment will be borne by the old partners at old profit sharing ratio, right? And if they are writing off immediately, right? If they are writing off immediately, new old all the partners, including the new partner, have to take charge, right? According to the new profit sharing ratio. That is what happened here, right? This is the goodwill amount only you have to take. That means if you say goodwill increased value, value, you had to pass old partners account goodwill account debit account debit credit to old partners capital account, credit, right? Old ratio, right? This is the right. If you are, we say, if you are writing off immediately. Writing of the goodwill immediately. Writing immediately means all the partners account. Account debit, right? Including new partner. Goodwill account credit. Right. This is what new ratio, right? New ratio. Right? This is what we have to be remember this double entry. Right? These entries, double entries you have to be remember. Right? Okay. So I hope you would have understood today's lesson. If you cannot understand, you go through it again and you can understand. Okay. Thank you for joining with me, and I will see you in next session. Thank you.